And we are live.
Are we live?
We are live.
All right.
Are you monitoring the broadcast?
Yep.
Awesome. Well, Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
And Shabbat Shalom to you online. Thank you for joining us, trying to get where we're supposed to be. We will start. My dear half, my lovely wife, will be here momentarily. Meanwhile, we need to get started with prayer. And Hannah has a mouthful, and your mom is out here. Who would like to pray? Yosef.
You can play.
Binyamin.
I'd pray, but I just told you my new gods.
Binyamin has just confessed allegiance to Odin.
I'm a Norseman now.
Yeah, he's a Norseman, even though he doesn't have a drop of Norse blood in him. So,
I have Scandinavian and Swedish.
do you?
I have Swedish,
2% sweetest, man.
Norway.
2%?
Yeah.
Yeah, that must be real. And Joshua, would you like to pray?
Oh, really?
Okay, so we will open in prayer. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe. Dad, thank you so much for showing us yourself, your life. And with you is all life and peace and purpose. And without you is death and confusion and fear and delusion. I pray, Adonai, that you will have your will today, that you would teach us, that we would learn to love you and fear you more, and that you would pull back the curtain and show us more of your character in Scripture. B'Shem Yeshua Malkeinu, in the name of Jesus, our King. Amen. Alrighty, today, of course, is the 11th day of July. It is 2026. Or it is the 27th day of the Jewish month of
Tamuz.
Tamuz. The year, of course, is
5786.
5786. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
I
Yes.
think it's the 26th.
It is 26, not the 27th. So I apologize.
Tamuz.
Today is the 26th, not the 27th of Tamuz. That is correct. Alrighty. So before we get started, of course, we always just do a quick. There's an asterisk next to that statement. A quick review of what's been going on in the world in the Middle East to say, hey, what's going on? So important. So, can anybody tell me what is going on in Israel?
Not particularly.
I don't know about Israel, but I know Iran attacked our ships.
Yeah, well, that actually does affect. Okay, so what happened Benjamin, a couple days ago?
Iran attacked some of our ships and killed, 40, 50.
Okay.
I don't remember the exact amount, but they killed.
Did you look it up?
Yeah.
So we don't give false information. Thank you. So a couple of days ago, Iran, which prior to that had accepted the memorandum of understanding from the United States and said, yes, we'll be good if you stop bombing us and if you give us $100 billion or more. Iran, for whatever reason, because they're Iran, not the people, but the regime of Iran attacked U.S. ships in the Strait of Hormuz, connects the Gulf of Arabia to the Gulf of Oman. And how many died, Ben?
We don't have a release number yet.
Okay. American soldiers died, or sailors, and personnel died, unfortunately. It was at this time that President Trump, who at that time was in Turkey, right, at the NATO summit, said that the memorandum of understanding is over, the peace deal is over. Iran is, what do we call Iran regime?
He said scum.
Scum. He said they're scum, and they're crazy, and we don't deal with these people. So he was obviously very upset, as he should be. And then he said, that's it. Peace deal's over. And we're going to give Iran till today to prove they're going to be nice. What?
Yeah.
What do you mean? We should have glassed them the second they did it.
Well, we don't want to nuke Iran. Anyway.
Yeah, we do.
No, we don't.
It's funny you say that because Trump said that because Iran has apparently a plot to assassinate him, he set up a government contingency plan so that if he is assassinated, they will just glass Iran.
Yeah, he said over 1,000 missiles were pointed at Iran right now. And if he died or was assassinated, not died, but if he was assassinated by Iran, that he would just take out the country.
Unless the vice president undid that following his death.
He can't.
I think he
The
can.
next president can
I don't think so, because it was set for the moment he was confirmed dead.
The minute he's confirmed dead, the second there's no pulse, the next president has to be sworn in.
So, continuity of power.
Yeah.
Regardless, there's a couple things that frustrate me about this, and there's my lovely wife. One, American people are still dying at the hands of this regime in Iran, and two, we don't care enough to take the regime out.
Yep.
They have been killing Americans since 1979. The Carter administration helped the evil regime in Iran come into power, and then immediately after that, that same regime invaded the U.S. Embassy in Tehran and took many Americans hostage and held them hostage for 444 days. Hello. It's easier and looks better. And,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So here's my lovely better half.
Hello.
Yes. Oh, by the way, Joshua didn't ask. We're getting audio visual, right?
Yeah.
Coming through. Okay. Okay.
What did he mean?
What do I mean? What do I mean?
Like in Turkey?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
The president was in Turkey.
He met some leaders in Turkey, what I know. Yeah.
Yeah. So these were the hostages taken by the Iranian regime in 1979, the same year that the Carter administration helped set up the very regime that took our people hostage and held them for 444 days. Then this same regime later blew up and killed hundreds of U.S. Marines in the barracks in Beirut. Do y'all remember that?
Mm-hmm. No.
I know you obviously weren't there, but just studying your history. So that was in 1982. They literally blew up our barracks, killed hundreds and hundreds of Marines. Same regime in Iran. This same regime has funded terrorism around the world, including on American soil, as well as Houthis, Hezbollah, and Hamas. And now they're killed American servicemen 2 days ago in the Strait of Hormuz. And our response was, we're going to give you one more day to prove you're okay and to stop being bad kids.
They already said.
But if you don't,
many weeks ago.
forgive me, I'm not trying to be emotional here, but the frustration is so high. Take out the regime in Iran. Take it out. Take out the evil regime.
I don't know what he's waiting for. I don't know what's up then, but I'm not getting into it because I'm going to be here forever.
They just had a massive funeral there, as you probably know, a few days ago. And in the funeral, they screamed, "Death to America! Death to the American leaders!" All this stuff. The very same America that's letting them get away with murder.
Literally.
Literally. Take out the evil regime, not just the Ayatollah Khomeini, who's now dead, thanks God, but the entire government, the entire network, the entire system. Take it out. Let the Iranian people be free. And put an end to the international terrorism.
Unless they don't want to be free. Maybe it's just the young minority that wants to be free, but people that are seeing other cultures be able to go out without slave garments.
No, they do want to be free. The majority do want to be free.
Right.
The million that you saw in Tehran not celebrating, but commemorating the death of the Ayatollah, there are some that still like the old regime, especially those who get benefit from it.
Well, of course.
But the majority of people in Iran want freedom. And they want Prince Pahlavi in power. Who is that?
He was the one that Ayatollah kicked out.
Well, kicked out his father.
Kicked out his dad, yeah.
Yeah. So Prince Pahlavi was son of the former Shah of Iran, and while that family was not perfect, because no family is, he is the heir, if you will, of the leadership of Iran. And this is the Shah, the old Shah, and this is his son back in the 80s or 90s, Prince Pahlavi, who today is the heir. And I'm trying to find a picture of him in modern day. They're all little pictures. God bless the internet. But he is ready to step up to power, and he has promised that once that happens, there will be freedom and democracy in Iran, which, by the way, they did have under his father. And he has a very strong internet presence and YouTube and all social media, and has spoken in many places around the world, and he's ready. So, unfortunately, he has received zero support from the U.S. government. Yeah. For whatever reason, the U.S. government would prefer to have the old regime instead of put in one that has freedom, democracy, and cessation from terrorism.
Well, Trump did say he wasn't here to change out the regimes. It's like, well, then why did you tell the people that
then,
you would, if they marched and because that's what the people wanted. They wanted the old regime out. He told them to get to the streets and march and protest. So if he wasn't going to do that, why would he tell them to do that?
That's a question for which
he's a big fat liar.
Okay.
He lied to them.
He did lie. And it cost him 40,000 lives.
Yes, it did.
From the old regime, murdering.
It cost him nothing. It cost them a lot. He doesn't get paid for it, so he's probably not Yeah.
I have to scoot back a little because your head looks so much smaller than mine from the perspective of the camera. So that's what's going on. Very frustrating, very disappointing, very sad. And how does this affect Israel? Because that's the reason we started this in the first place, this conversation.
Well, if we don't stop the Iranian regime, which is the funnel that China and Russia and all these other expensive or rich countries uh, funnel their money to terrorist groups. So if you don't get rid of Iran,
Which affects Israel how?
well, that means that they're
I'm not trying to tell you patience. I'm just getting clarity.
it just means that the terrorist groups who hate Israel and want to wipe them off the face of the earth are going to continue to attack them.
Yeah.
And continue.
So
And Israel's going to continue to have to defend herself. And then Israel's going to continue having everybody try to slap their wrists and say, it's just if we just take out the root cause, then you won't have to worry about it.
that would be the preferable option. So it's been difficult, as you can see, right? And I didn't want to spend too much time on this, but it's been a hard time in the Middle East right now. Israel's continuing to defend itself from Hezbollah in southern Lebanon. And of course, every time we do, the international community goes, stop it, be nice to Hezbollah. Excuse me, be nice to them. And these are updates here. I'm using Ynet Global, which is a great website that gives you all the latest updates. Okay. How has anti-Semitism been in the United States and around the world in the past week? Are things getting a little better, a little easier for us?
Yeah.
Can you tell me in what way, Joshua?
No.
Okay. So this is the weekly anti-Semitism map, right? And it's dated updated as of yesterday. There was a violent anti-Semitic attack in New York, an anti-Semitic assault with agricultural manure on New York targeting Haredi women, right?
What are Haredi women?
Haredi are the ultra-Orthodox women, yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. In the UK, passenger rips down anti-Semitic ad on London Tube. It was good that he ripped it down, but yeah, it shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Right.
In Wyoming, police are investigating anti-Semitic graffiti. Wyoming.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. New Jersey, a man wanted for allegedly placing anti-Semitic stickers around Princeton University and the town of Princeton. Massachusetts, and it just goes on and on. So this is happening. Kansas, Nebraska, right? You don't expect that. So somebody tell me, anti-Semitism, better or worse or the same than it was 10 years ago?
Probably was. Much worse.
I would say badly.
I don't know if it's worse. I just think it's brought out more. Like people have been
It's
given
worse.
permission to
It's worse.
be open about it, but in their hearts they still were anti-Semitic. Like you can have a bunch of people on the subway hate each other, but 10 years ago they probably didn't feel the same freedom they feel now to hate. They've been given permission, you know. So it's just being, brought out more or seen more because people are voting.
Okay. Here's the ADL's chart. Oh, that's only 2017. But we can see that's 2021. Here we go. So that's not too bad. And too bad in as much as date-wise, I want to see something a little sooner. There is on their website, the ADL has through 2025, but it's a video, which we're not going to watch. But if you can see that right there. So anti-Semitic events rising sharply since 2023 in the United States, right? Dropped a bit in 2025. Amazing. And we don't know what they're doing for 2026 this year, but we know it's bad. So look at this incredible increase from years prior. It's worse. I agree with you. Anti-Semitism is always under the surface, bubbling there. People want to hate,
Right.
but now they have free expression and no one's stopping it.
No one's on it. And it's actually become a trend. I mean, it's become popular, protests and hate, the Jewish people and Christians. It's become a thing now,
So what can we do? We're Jews. We're not ashamed of it. What should we do?
Defend ourselves.
Okay. What do you mean by that, Hannah?
Like, whew. If someone's attacking you,
Okay.
you like either hide or
We can't hide.
oh,
We hid for 3 months.
panic. For that one.
Oh,
Okay, so panic. You're Jewish and you're being attacked. Panic. There are actually defense classes that are now being given at Jewish community centers around the United States to teach Jews how to defend themselves. We weren't doing this 30 years ago, or 20 years ago, or a little bit 10 years ago, but not as much as it is now. 2023 changed everything.
Amen.
So, and now we do not feel safe, even in the United States. Okay, so besides panic, any other options? What should we do?
Well, we pray for them.
Okay.
Well, I think there are two things. If we could, I don't know. I guess we have to report it and then defend ourselves if we have to.
Okay.
And then
I mean, we reported our event from last December and
nothing happened.
Yeah,
No.
they didn't even. ADL ignored us. We've sent it to them twice to let them know what's going on.
As a Christian, there's nothing we can do because we pray for them. We pray that they get caught and that we get justice. But justice doesn't really matter in this world anymore for those that are on the right side.
Well,
So,
one of the strategies that's being employed across the United States, and that loud sound you hear, is our dog drinking water. There you go.
one of them.
One of the strategies that's been employed is to hide the fact we're Jewish.
Oh,
Don't worry, your yarmulkes. Don't worry, your stars of David. That's what we're being told in New York
right.
and Chicago. Of course, that's been going on in Berlin for a few years now. So, is that something we should do, Yosef? Should we hide who we are? Your personal opinion.
No, it's a matter of preference.
Okay, matter of preference, sure. So, do you think maybe it might be wise since people are attacking us more and more in the United States?
Matter of preference, honestly. If you want to get yourself stabbed, go ahead. If you're reasonable.
Okay, so your answer seems to lean towards, yeah, we should keep a low profile maybe until this blows over.
Jews should hide themselves.
We need a
should
Jewish
hide-
militia.
No, that'll make everything so much worse.
We need like a community. What is that?
Jewish militia.
You can't fight back.
Wait. I just wanted to focus on what Yosef said. So Yosef does lean toward maybe, just maybe keeping a low profile, staying out of the limelight, so we don't get stabbed. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you. That's why I wanted your opinion. And now your mom wants to start the wrong one, but there's another one down there that's tan pinkish as well. It's in my Bible section.
Yeah, well,
There's another one. Get that also. Thank you.
Well, not a militia, but like like the community watch things that you do in your community. We should come together as Jews and do a community watch.
Like a neighborhood watch.
Yeah, like a neighborhood watch.
Because the word militia kind of threw me off there. Because you can't fight back. Martin Luther King knew that if blacks fought back, then that would be conforming the biases of racist whites.
Yeah.
So he fought with peace. And I think
Well, I agree with that. I do agree with that. But I was thinking community, like a neighborhood watch type thing.
no, I mean a neighborhood
All
watch.
Jews get
Yeah.
together.
Like a race watch?
No, like all the Jews get together. So like
That's a race
like in New York, they're all sort of clumped together. They all kind of live in like
We live in our own communities, generally speaking.
community. So no
think
one
it'd be-
walks alone.
think that's-
When you're out at night, you have people out
I
there.
think it'd be a lot safer if Jews assimilated because if once Jews
Oh my
assimilate-
gosh, having chest pain.
Once Jews assimilate,
the patients.
once Jews assimilate, it'd be harder to pick out who's Jewish.
Okay.
Bideman wants Jews to disappear.
I didn't
Yosef
say
wants us to
disappear.
keep a low
I did not say disappear.
If we
I said
assimilate, don't interrupt. If we say assimilate, assimilation means we disappear. We become part of the people among whom we
if
live.
we say to ourselves, we're fishing a bell.
Yeah, but
That's why we need to go to Israel.
No, you're putting all the Jews in one place.
Yeah, but we can defend ourselves there.
It's not. Gonna
remember when our flag was
80 years.
remember when our flag was
attacked every single
And we're still around.
remember when our flag was cut down?
Yeah.
And some of the comments in there, and a lot of the comments were like, well, you shouldn't have put up a flag.
Let me catch them up real fast. In December of 2025, we had an Israeli flag flying during Hanukkah.
Yeah.
But no, big Israeli flag from in front of the house, like yay. And some hoodlum, looked like a young kid with a mask on, came in about 11:30 at night. We caught it on our doorbell cam and took a knife. He didn't just grab the flag and throw it down or steal it. He took a knife and hacked it off, and they took it with him and raced away in his car. So that was reported, and I also put it on Facebook, the community Facebook, and said, if anybody saw anything, let me know. And what kind of responses did I get?
Some of the responses, a lot of them were bad. A majority of them,
What do you mean bad?
Like, well, you need to go away, go live somewhere else. You need to not put up offensive things. And the thing that I want to relate to Ben is that they said that, well, you shouldn't put things out there. You shouldn't put up your flag if you know that it offends people. And the problem with assimilation is you're letting people change who you are, but they're allowed to not change who they are.
You told me something.
The way that a Muslim would stop wearing a hijab or whatever it's called because they live in a community of Americans. No, they can stand out, they can do what they need to do, but Jews can't put up a flag. And we're the ones who are wearing Davis. No, we can. We tried to do that in World War II, and it did nothing.
We didn't really assimilate.
Not just World War II. Let me. It was huge. Let me share this with Benjamin as well. Benjamin, may I share this with you?
Yeah, sorry.
In 1380s in Spain, there was a beginnings of an Inquisition, right? And they said essentially to many Jews there, convert to Catholicism or leave. Some died, and most of them left. To be honest with you, not most Jews in Spain, most Jews in that area. So many of them migrated to other areas of Spain that was safer, Castilla, Andalusia, Sevilla, things like that.
Shouldn't have had to.
They should have had to, but in 1492, the storm broke, and that was the big Inquisition that Mel Brooks sings about so cheerily in his movie, which is a wonderful routine. And King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella, they really came against the Spanish people. Thousands and thousands were murdered, tortured. Auto da fe, which is where you burn people at the stake in public, is what you oughtn't to do, but
you do
you do anyway. Yeah, that works. And all this stuff happened, right? In our family, right? Gomez and Villalobos and Sanchez, and many of them fled for their lives. And then they came to Mexico and they assimilated. They became Catholic before coming to Mexico because you weren't allowed to go to the New World if you were Jewish. So they forged papers. They said they were Catholic. They came here and they hid as Catholics, and they assimilated. And what happened when we got to Mexico?
We survived.
Well, not exactly.
We're
So,
here.
in Mexico, the Inquisition came over to Mexico in the late 18th century, early part of the 19th century, and they chased us. How did they know? We were good Catholics.
They probably didn't look Catholic. Walking around.
What's a Catholic look like?
I mean, like walking around with yarmulkes and stuff.
No, they didn't do any of that. There were no yarmulkes, no Stars of David.
I don't know how. Then how would they have told? No.
There were some things that our family was doing in secret still.
Oh, so they weren't assimilating.
Well, they were assimilating in public.
No, like
They attended mass, they worshiped Mary, all that stuff.
Mom, you yourself have told me that.
I guess the point that I'm making, Benjamin, is despite how much we tried to assimilate to save our lives, they chased us from Spain to Cuba to Mexico to Central Mexico to Northern Mexico to New Mexico.
Well, if you do things in secret, that's not you. That's their fault.
Ben, come on.
Yeah, but they
You're
did
blaming
not.
them
They
for
did not.
No, I'm saying is
One at a time.
if you states, we have to.
Just a second. One at a time. The mic picks up everybody. Okay. What I'm saying is assimilation didn't work. And at the same time, the part of the reason it didn't work is because we are who we are. And we can't hide that forever. God does not call us as Jews to hide. He calls us to be proud of who we are. Now go ahead, Mom and Ben.
You told me
Another
yourself that we have to
distraction.
assimilate. Americans need to be.
not assimilate, but so going to another country and learning the language and doing the things that that culture or the country has set forth, that's one thing. But I'm not going to change the fact, say I come from, Germany and I come to live in America. I'm not gonna keep me from being German, but I do have to learn English and I do have to, do what get a job and do what everybody else in America does.
Yeah.
That's different than assimilating. Assimilating, from what I understand you saying, is that we are supposed to totally eliminate our identity in order to survive.
I'm not even saying we should do that. I'm just saying if we want this to tamper down, if we want to end.
Why should we be the ones to do that? We're not the ones in the wrong here.
How do you think we
All
survived?
we're doing is existing.
4,000 years we survived in Babylon, in Persia. It's because we tried to assimilate.
Babylon, we didn't assimilate. They knew we were Jews. We just had our own community there.
No, I mean like in general, we adapt with the times. We survive.
True assimilation means death to Jewish people.
The blood will always be there.
No, it would get diluted.
We cannot do that. Why should we have to change because of the evil that's out there?
The
They're
blood.
the ones with the problem. Islam is the one with the problem.
I
The
agree.
Semites are the ones with the
I
problem.
agree. I'm not saying
That's what's wrong with our culture today.
because I'm scared.
It's that
I'm scared.
I know you're scared, and it is scary. There are evil people out there, but hateful people are hateful people, whether or not you know. Like I remember seeing a story, and it was a black person that was very light skinned, and she was able to, assimilate into the white culture.
These are pictures of the Inquisition in Mexico, by the way. I'm sorry, go ahead.
But she shouldn't have had to. She should have been able to. She should have been able to be herself
I agree,
and
but
still be. But it's the people that were prejudiced against black people that were in the wrong. It's the Islamic
No, I
people that
agree.
hate and want to destroy every Jew on earth that's in the wrong.
don't get me
We're
wrong. I'm not saying it's wrong to be Jewish or even practice Judaism. My problem is that you make a video or something online defending Jews, you'll get downvoted to oblivion. You make any kind of comment, people will say, "Oh, it's Jewry" or "It's some kind of Jew issue."
Zionist
People,
conspiracy.
they hate us, and I think I'm not brave enough. I think to.
It's a scary world out there. But let me tell you this.
That's true.
Yep, it's like, no, it's
Joe has seen the world.
It
It's
is
so not scary that Yosef wants us to hide who we
You just said
They don't wear a yarmulke anymore.
You said that
Yeah.
you said that if they want to protect themselves.
If you live in an area where it's really bad, you have half a brain that you would do that.
Well, I mean, I agree.
So
with
it's a scary world out there.
Okay, so
No scary-
from
that. Why would you?
your
This
viewpoint, Joe. From your viewpoint, Joe, if it's a scary world, okay, so we live in the Bronx.
hey,
We've been there for 100 years,
Love that.
right? We've been there for 100 years, had the same business, generation to generation.
Yeah.
And it's gotten scary, so I should pick up my business, pick up my life, and go where?
Ellery. To Israel.
Okay, but we're all going to be ending up.
I think he was mocking.
The safest country on planet.
Nope, I'm not saying. I never said Israel was safe.
Never says.
I just said Israel.
No, I'm making fun of him,
defend
making fun of you.
ourselves. Oh yeah, okay.
But what I want to encourage you, Ben, with is that people don't need a reason to hate you.
I mean,
It doesn't matter if you're Jewish, black, white, yellow, purple, green. People hate, they will hate no matter what. They don't like the way you look at them, or they don't like the way you dress, or they don't like the shirt you're wearing, or they don't like the fact that you live in a certain neighborhood, or they don't like the fact that you have a certain job. People don't like people that are educated or lower income. I don't know. People don't need an excuse to hate. And that's what makes the world scary, is because a lot of people today are hating, and they're not understanding what they're hating. Right?
I mean,
Like these protests.
Anti-Semites typically aren't the brightest bulbs. In the
Right.
So,
But
you know,
you don't have to be afraid. Well, God doesn't guarantee us safety
Safety,
in this world.
sure.
There will be things that will happen to us and we don't like, but that's why it's very important for you to come back to the Lord, because one,
I mean, I have my religion. I said it at the beginning of the Bible study.
He worships Odin now.
I worship the Norse gods.
He's
really, I hope everyone gets to see it.
Although that does put him in line with Santa Claus, because Odin was the one originally that flew through the sky
There we go.
in a sleigh.
Yeah.
Pulled by reindeer.
I'm getting presents this year. You guys think?
Please pray for me.
Yeah.
We would like you to come back to the real true God,
Yeah.
instead of a made up one. Sorry for any.
You would not like
Um,
Swedish or Nordic history from 1400 onwards.
I know. So
Because they converted to Christianity. Yeah.
no, wait, all the
But
Oh, there you go. You're gonna come to Christianity.
once they start paying off the people,
The most pagan thing ever, convert to Christianity.
yeah. but
reluctantly.
let me capitalize on something Benjamin said. It is scary out there.
Mhm.
It's scary, absolutely. And people hate us, and it's not just a regular hate, right? It's not like they're hating on the neighbor who, threw a ball in their yard or something.
Right.
This is a long-standing, ancient, millennia, historic, bad English, hatred. It's been going on for centuries and centuries and centuries and centuries, and it will continue. until the Lord returns. So instead of playing the victim, and I'm not saying you guys are, I'm saying in general, my thought is so we should be proud of who we are, even if it costs us our lives. You guys are directly related to, well, all Jews are, I guess, people who died in the auto de fe in Mexico and earlier in Spain. They gave their lives. One of them, Francisco Gomez Robaldo, one of the last things that he wrote was, I am a Nazarene, I am a Jew, a son of Israel. I can be nothing else. And then he died. So let's not hide. Let's not be afraid.
Well, what if you're not proud of who you are?
Oh, well, then
Well, then
there's
there's
a whole
no other
identity issue.
There's no issues there.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know why you wouldn't be afraid. I mean,
Well, he is a.
not afraid.
I'm
Proud of who you are because God has, like Esther, has put you in this time for such a time as this, and there's a reason.
So my contra statement to that would be, if you're not a person of faith, you wouldn't see that.
Right.
You would only see a lot of people that don't like you,
Right.
and in fact hate you.
No, and I'm not saying I'm not proud. I mean, I'm not proud, but I'm also not like I don't hate being Jewish ethnically. Like I'm indifferent to it. But I'm talking about devil's advocate. What if you also want to who just hates being Jewish? And I don't hate.
There have been Jews that hate being Jewish for this reason.
Yeah, and I think that I think people who have that heart would be very happy to assimilate to another Christian.
I'm sure they would.
They probably are.
But I've
Probably
noticed
agnostic or atheist, and they just, I'm American, I'm a doctor.
I've noticed a lot of Jews who've tried to assimilate in the past, especially during World War II, were very unsuccessful because something stuck out. Somebody saw something or noticed something, and then they.
Well, yeah, the eyes of their head.
Do we have big heads?
Eugenics
I'm
is
turn the camera to Gus and show you how big his head is.
good proof that eugenics is wrong is that there have been tons of Jews who pretended to be Germans and
Yeah,
the war.
and some were successful, but some were not.
They just had to clip their noses every few.
Oh,
That was a me joke. It was not.
but the point is, of course, it's not easy for us to assimilate as a people. It never has been. We've always stuck out.
And again, I'm not saying we should assimilate. I'm just saying.
I mean, that's literally what you said.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to explain that. I'm not saying that's the best option, but what I'm saying is, to avoid more violence.
But,
I don't know. I'm freaking.
but no matter what
You asked an opinion, and you gave an honest opinion. I appreciate that.
no matter what you do, there will always be somebody that hates
Yeah.
for stupid reason.
And I think you have to remember that because they're gonna hate
Regardless. So let's say you assimilate, and they don't like you at work because
You're a man.
or you're
Or
white.
Yeah.
Or you have blue eyes or hazel eyes, or you have. There's always going to be hate out there. Always, always, always. And the Lord promises that. You know, there was hate in his day. There was hate before his day. Well, actually, he was from the beginning, but so you don't have to be afraid, and don't be ashamed of who you are, because if they're going to hate you, you might as well give them reason to hate you, right? You might like some.
That's not a good philosophy.
What do you mean?
It's like,
I don't want to Jewish.
What she's saying is you're going to be hated anyway.
Right.
You might as well be positive and be who you are.
and stand up for
Y'all
you.
I'm sorry.
And
So are you, Jew boy.
that's why.
I call them Semitic. Y'all,
Joe, you look like a freaking Jew.
You do look
that
like
was
a Jew.
anti-Semitism.
I'm Jewish. I can say it. They know I'm Jewish on the podcast.
After our flag was torn down, Troy and I were like, oh.
If the mic picks up everything, so please let mom talk.
After our flag was torn down, Troy and I were like, all right, everything we have that's Jewish, everything we have is going out front. We put up everything we had. We put up a big
little Hanukkah and we
Yeah.
Star of David.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually really cool because you made that yourself.
Yeah. Even some Christian friends of ours called up and said, "You need help? We'll help put
Yeah.
Israel flags in every point of your yard.
Exactly right.
We will be there to support you." So
Yeah, the cooking. Sorry.
I gave you guys my flag. It's actually hanging up right there.
Yeah.
Probably so.
And we put it out, and we put everything out because we realized it doesn't matter what we do, because we weren't doing anything to anybody. We weren't trying to vandalize them to love Israel. We're not trying to, convert people to
There's a house across the street that hangs a German flag.
a German American flag.
There.
I'm biased because I think the only flag.
And they're actually real Germans, Vinny.
I'm biased because the only in public, I think the only flag you should fly is the flag of the country.
Just gonna get away. Let them get away with it.
This is not the time or the place.
It's no fun if he lets me get away with it.
But
You're a weak.
but like in private, I have like we had Joe has like a British flag, and we have like different.
And you have
Yeah, I'm not even British. I'm nowhere
I
close
never
to
know.
British though.
You actually are related to the British Freeman.
No, you'd be shocked. You have British uniforms. You'd be
If I
shocked.
took the same DNA test, Ben.
But you'd have like 25% at least British if you
It's
have
like
your
$30.
dad's
Then let's do it.
side, but you still would have some English in it.
No, but I'm I don't hate other people flying flags, but like in my opinion, out in public, USA flag #1. That's even with Israel flag or whatever. I think that's.
Well, we did that because of the solidarity with the October 7th thing.
No, I remember that.
And then we kept it up until everyone was brought home, and then we just kept forgetting to change it.
No, actually, then it was up because it was Hanukkah.
It was Hanukkah at the time,
Yeah.
and then we just forgot to change it. But we want to put up both flags because
Yeah.
you know our heart is
We are Jews, and we are
that's God's
I
land.
love America too.
God is our father, and he's our parents. You know, so we want to be proud of where we come from, and we come from Him as well. So, you know, that's why we do it. But
I didn't mean to spend so much time on this, but I appreciate the comments and opinions. Joshua, what is your opinion? We haven't heard from you.
I think we should stand proud of who we are.
Oh, I do like.
So you're okay, even if there's an inquisition going on of wearing the yarmulke and having a Bagam David and having a Chanukah in the window in December and all that.
Especially if there's an acquisition going on.
But that's why I think I with Joe, because if you're in immediate danger,
If we stop
Thank goodness it's not 1940 Germany because they would be cooked. They
There's a-
would literally go to Nazi offices and say, "Yeah, you."
Yosef, you would also be cooked as soon as they found out who your parents
I
were.
wouldn't be born for 60 years. So.
As soon as they found out who your parents were, they'd be like, "You're on a train east."
Joe, it was the Nazis. Joe, the Nazis pioneered non-DNA based genetics.
like
Yeah.
if we start
They'd find out.
then we lose, right? We lose before we even die.
Okay, I have to laugh at this. I'm sorry. This is a from the famous Monty Python skit. No one expects the Spanish Inquisition.
No,
Yeah.
but it's not that movie.
Anyway, I'm sorry. Joshua, go ahead.
I was just saying, you know, if we start hiding our Jewishness, then we lose before we ever die.
But there's a
or we
point.
face persecution.
But there's a point where you have to have self-preservation. Berlin recently told Jews not to wear yarmulkes, not because they were anti-Semitic,
Not Berlin, but the rabbi.
or the rabbi, not because he hates Jews and wants to suppress Jews. I mean, he does it because there's a direct threat to Jews.
So
I'm sorry.
when does self-preservation just become hiding?
You can still practice your again, but we're not talking assimilation.
You gotta put Jews in like a little area.
No, what is some kind of? We should make a war for like a ghetto or something.
Yeah,
What is it? Oh, the Jews hang out in New York.
Bronx.
Yeah, the Bronx.
a lot of different.
If we put the Jews
Kick out
if we-
every non-Jew.
you know, it
Bronx
probably
out.
fit, it would probably fit every Jew. Was it 14 million Jews? It would probably fit every Jew.
Wait,
That place would be the
Let's
most
say the
loud
population
because
is popular.
Okay, this just took a bad turn.
Look,
So
anti-Semitic.
I mean, it's basically what you want to do with Israel. You want to take all the Jews and put them in one little area.
Which is a bad freaking
what
idea.
that's
Because guess what?
it's one area the size of New Jersey.
No,
We've
what
been
do you
there
think that's-
80 years and we're still around.
The Obama would destroy the entire.
But then
No.
the Bronx.
Israel will never cease to exist. We have a place.
It didn't exist for 80 years.
We have a place
and
where we can defend ourselves.
More than 80 years. I'm sorry.
You guys want to scatter us to the nations and get lost.
I want us all to
I want to put Jews in the Bronx.
Yes, I want to open deli stores.
Yeah, all the Jews in the Bronx.
I just
Bronx and
I want the.
Israel will come with Buc-ee's. It will just.
I love it. I'm on that. I'm on board. I'm on board.
SMH, NGL.
I start saying with that.
the one thing that we're missing when we talk about what the rabbi said in was it
Berlin.
Jersey.
was he was an Orthodox Jew.
True.
Okay. There's a difference spiritually between an Orthodox Jew and a Messianic Jew.
Absolutely.
I don't know about that.
We have the assurance that God is with us. We have the Christians, Messianic Jews, have the assurance that God is with us, and that you know, to live in Christ, to die is gain. Right? It's not that we're running out to die, but what I'm saying is that we're not afraid of that because there's somewhere we have assurance that we're going to be okay no matter what.
And there's something that's more valuable than your personal safety on this planet.
Right.
There's a deeper conviction, a deeper truth for which to stand that goes beyond personal safety.
Right, exactly. And then we would do anything and everything to protect you guys from being hurt and wounded if that meant that we had to die.
Jeez.
But hey, you lay down your life for a friend, right?
No, I guess.
What's love? You lay down your life for a friend.
But I think that's what me and Joe are talking about is when's the point of self-preservation? Like if I'm going.
My point is a Buc-ee's in Israel.
No, because you talk about like if there's an immediate danger, then half a brain you would self-preserve. And my thinking is like I can agree to the point like if, for instance, if a bunch of neo-Nazis live next to us, they don't. But if a bunch of neo-Nazis live next to us, I'm not walking out with Talit and a freaking.
I am.
Cookies.
You could put it
Sour David cookies.
You could
Me
put
too.
it on your
Send it
call,
to
but
them.
like you can wear it, you call, you can do it, but like the preservation of self as a human instinct.
So again, I asked my question: where does self-preservation just become hiding?
Right.
I just said you could put it on in your call. You could do Shabbos in your house, but like if I'm surrounded by
Oh,
don't
so
know.
what you're saying is we should give a public front of not being Jewish, but in private.
no, that's obviously what our
do
ancestors did.
Jewish thing. That's what you're
That's because I'm not talking about assimilation. I'm talking about basic survival. I'm not talking about assimilation. I'm talking
But
about.
are we here to survive? Or are we here to spread the gospel? To give the Christ crucified, the message of Christ crucified, resurrection, born again.
We're here to
Are we here
there's no bucky. Go to the Bronx, start delis.
One at a time. Thank you. Not speaking up everything.
God says that we live peaceable if possible.
If possible.
Right?
Yes.
If it's possible. Now, preservation, yeah. There is always the instinct fight or flight, right?
Yes.
Some of us will want to move to another country or somewhere safer. Some of us want to stay and fight.
Like the Bronx.
Like
Put all the kids in the Bronx.
It all comes back to it. It all comes back to it.
what I'm saying is,
Israel will become the Bronx.
Israel will never
I
cease to
do
be a
not
nation.
trust Israel for.
Yeah, it will. It'll become.
They are
a
surrounded by enemies.
I know.
At least we have Canada and Mexico to protect us.
Canada, Mexico are enemies here.
No, but like Canada, they couldn't take us on. Mexico, they can barely stop. We just hired.
Okay.
all you have to do is sprain your ankles and they'll put the
Shots, Come on.
That's so
Come
cool.
on.
Yeah.
We are in Exodus chapter 19. And
Oh.
here's part of the point. This was not what I was going to talk about today, but it seems to be
Yeah.
the direction. In Exodus chapter 19, it says this: in the third month, at the same day of the month, that the Israelites had left the land of Egypt, they came to Bamidbar, the wilderness of Sinai. And they had set themselves out from Rephidim, and they entered the wilderness of Sinai, and Israel camped there in front of the mountain. Okay. Then Moshe went up to God, and the Lord called him from the mountain. This is what you are to tell the house of Yaakov, and explain to the sons of Israel. You have seen for yourselves what I did to Egypt, and how I carried you on eagle's wings and brought you to myself. Now, if you will indeed obey my voice and keep my covenant, you will be my treasured possession out of all the nations, for the whole earth is mine. And to you shall be a kingdom, and to me you shall be a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words you are to speak to the Israelites. This is the calling of the Jewish people. Our people. This is our calling. This is your calling, Yosef. Like it or not, you were born into this family. And so God calls us to be a kingdom of priests and a holy nation, which means we are not to hide.
Sure, a priest of the brazen beaver.
Nope, not a priest of the brazen beaver. It's still talking about buckies. A priest's witness of who God is. That's what you're called to. That's what I'm called to.
Did God not create the beaver?
He did. He didn't create buckies though. Buckies was created
He
by
did.
man.
What's it called? What's the he did? By proxy though.
By proxy. Because
Created man created beef. The buckies. So
you are called to be a holy nation, not to hide. If we're hiding, if we're assimilating, we can be neither priest nor proper people,
Right.
nor that holy nation, right? So I have to agree with Joshua here. We stand, even if it costs us our lives, or our freedom, or our stuff, or puts us on a train east, right? Because that's not really the point. The point is that we continue to be proud of who we are, so we can be that kingdom of priests, that holy nation, and fulfill this calling that God has given our people. Thoughts?
Nope.
No, I agree.
Yes.
I think that one of the when you look back at World War II, one of the things at least I've thought about is why didn't they get out? They've had plenty of warnings.
They should have.
And they should have gotten out. And that's not assimilation. That's just
what's up?
trying to avoid being murdered and killed.
Right.
But there are times when you don't have opportunity to do that. And so
Yeah.
and then when we watch World War II movies and about the Holocaust and everything,
Yeah.
I always think to myself, and it's maybe because I'm sitting in America and I'm like living freely in my house, why didn't they just all get together and fight?
Some of them did.
There was an underground resistance, yes, and I totally support that, and I would have supported it. But there were so many of them. They could have fought back, but it's easy for me to say that
from the comfort of
But
stay home, right?
40 years later, right? So I don't know what the mind frame was, but when we saw a Holocaust victim and he said today's world or
Yeah.
today's society is becoming just like that of pre-World War II, that
Sure.
kind of clicked in me. I'm like, okay, so now what do we do?
Right.
I want a mind frame that is prepared for if something happens instead of waiting till something happens and then
So,
how do we, what do we do
Unlike
then?
World War II, Germany, we have a nation now,
Right.
and we have an army, and we have a government, as broken and weird as it is in Israel, and we have a place to go.
Right.
This, by the way, is Buc-ee's. This is what Yosef's talking about, because not every state has one. Buc-ee's is like a convenience store, gas station type thing. It's big in Colorado and some other states. It's not on the West Coast or East Coast. So this is what he's talking about, and Yosef loves the Buc-ee's beaver right there. He just thinks it's the cutest thing ever. Okay, on that note,
Before we continue,
yes,
one has to understand how powerful the Nazis were. Even with the Allied coalition that the United States formed, we barely were able to destroy them with whatever nations were joined. If the Jews could not have left Germany because they literally could not.
That's not true. Do you remember
Some
Schindler's List? They were the rich
Some-
bankers that Schindler was trying to get money from to support his war effort. They could afford it to go. Do you remember in that other
Yeah, but
movie?
the Nazis had closed all the borders to Jews, though.
Yeah, but they could have been shoveled out.
They looked like Jews.
So early on in the 1930s, Hitler came to power in 1933. He passed Nuremberg laws right after that. But early on, the government was telling Jews, get out,
Mhm.
get out, get out. We don't want you here, get out. Some left. Most were like, this is our home. It's been our home for 500 years. Why would we leave? You can't tell us to get out.
And that's ignorance.
Well, they didn't know. They didn't know that they would end up being killed. They just thought it was a politician being crazy, who was voted in by the German people, by popular vote, by the way. And they thought that he would come and go like most politicians do. No one that was logical saw the Holocaust coming, or a few. Most people did not.
But you have to remember, these people aren't not these people. I don't mean to say that like, oh, these people, but the people that were affected in World War II, they've been there for 50 to 100 years. Their family grew up there. The
Longer than
businesses,
centuries.
probably longer, yeah. And this was their home. So it's kind of like what we're seeing in America is like, I can't believe this is America. Like I can't believe that, how whatever issue it is,
Right.
you kind of like, oh, well, this will pass, or we'll get a new
Exactly what
president,
it said,
and,
yes.
or we'll get a new whatever they have, vice chancellor or whatever.
Yeah.
So you kind of like don't
You
want to
can't-
believe it, but yet you do want to believe it.
Like compare anything to 1930s Nazi Germany because
But
that's a
that-
whole different.
But that Holocaust survivor did.
He did, yeah.
He's about the traumatic experience. Of course, he's going to see it as that.
So we should dismiss his testimony because he lived through it? Does that make any logical sense?
Yeah.
Can you tell me what logical sense that makes? I'm going to dismiss your testimony because you actually experienced
If
it
you
and I
went through a
didn't.
traumatic experience, everything's going to be that traumatic experience.
Yes, but from
So what you're saying is we need to move on from our trauma and try to see the world for as it is.
Yes.
well, what if the world is becoming like he said it was?
If Donald Trump puts out a book calling for the death of the Jews, then don't say that.
All right, so
Maybe that's
look at it this way, Joseph. Okay, he lived it.
Welcome back.
Right? He lived through war. The pre
Yeah.
build up. He lived through it. He survived it. Then he lived another probably 40 years after that, because I don't know how old he was. He was like in his 80s, right? 90s maybe, or 80s.
I was speaker today.
He maybe lived another 50 years after that. Wouldn't he have time to think back and say, hey, when this is what happened. We should have gotten out. He would have had plenty of time for introspection and reflection on what could have been prevented. And I think when he talked about that, that's what he was doing.
Yeah.
He was saying, I look back and I see the things that we were blinded by because we didn't think anything would happen. We didn't think this had been our home for 40 years or whatever, how old he was when he went through the
I think it was
Holocaust.
his 20s.
20s. So you never think that. So you dismissing his testimony is a mistake. Instead of saying, because he lived through it, it should be ignored. What we should say is because he lived through it, he knew and can reflect back and say, whoa, this is getting the same feelings. Because he, of all people, would know what the buildup was and what the outcome was. Don't you think?
If I survive a dog attack, then all dogs are going to look equal to me.
If you survive a dog attack, then you'll recognize if a dog in the future is going to attack.
Yeah.
No, because
Yeah.
not all dogs will.
Okay, so let's take Sarge, for instance, when we first got Sarge, and then we have Ellie, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so did you look at Ellie differently after Sarge tried to bite you?
No,
Okay, so but that just proves your point.
that's because I knew Ellie.
No, because if you have a traumatic experience with a dog, two things are going to happen. Either you're going to hate dogs forever and you're going to stay away from them, or two, you're going to learn the signs of a vicious dog and you're going to learn which dog is friendly and which dog is not.
But I'm not afraid or hate Sarge. I believe Sarge can be changed and he is good.
Okay, so you're on this side that you could learn the signs of him being frustrated. So you go a little slower. You just hand your hand out. You give him treats. You don't bombard him.
I work with Sarge. I don't abandon Sarge for another dog.
Exactly. But that goes against your point. You said that if we got viciously attacked by a dog, then I would hate dogs forever, and you would see every dog as evil, right? Which you don't. I think it just. Huh?
It was a hypothetical question.
Well, your hypothetical.
Example.
Or your hypothetical situation got disproven by your own statement.
All right. So the point I'm making, of course, is it's even though human nature never changes, even though anti-Semitism never changes, and even though anti-Semitism is always there, right, just under the surface.
Mhm.
There was a Jewish doctor I worked with when I was in residency, my first year of residency in Westminster, and he was very, very wealthy even before he became a doctor. He was
Right.
just very good at business and had that gift for that. And I wish I had his gift for that.
Right. Yeah.
And we were talking one night. We were both on a long shift, and I said, "How do you live here? How do you live in a state that is so blatantly anti-Semitic?" Which was confirmed a couple of years later by the Boulder murder
Right. Yeah.
by that Muslim guy against Jews. And he said, "Everywhere I move in the United States, I never put both feet there.
Mm.
I always have one foot in Israel, always, just in case we have to leave."
Right.
So he doesn't feel safe in this country, and he's a very millionaire, very, very wealthy man, but he always has a place his family can run just in case.
But Israel's not safe for Jews.
Just a second, baby. So,
Sorry.
so why would he do that? Why would this educated, wealthy, successful man approach every moment in the United States with this hesitation of, we may not be safe here permanently, we may have to run? And we keep getting these same signals over and over from all different parts of Judaism in the United States, right? Jewish man getting murdered during the day in broad daylight in Los Angeles.
And
beaten to
nothing
death.
happens.
Nothing happened. Jewish Israeli men in a just an outdoor cafe enjoying coffee one day in New York City last month, just sitting there. Somebody hears them speaking Hebrew, they get beat up on camera, and it's posted on social media. Got a gazillion views, thumbs up. Yeah, you beat up the Jews. Nothing happened.
Who
Right?
said they got killed or hurt a Jewish person and they got 1 year in jail
Yeah.
just recently?
Jews showing solidarity to Israel in Boulder, Colorado. Muslim comes up, starts firebombing them with homemade fire, Molotov cocktails and things. One of the Jewish people dies, unfortunately.
It was a Holocaust survivor.
She was a Holocaust survivor, yeah. And what happened? Oh, he's in jail, as he should be. Did his family get exported because they were all from the United States? No.
No.
Okay. We're just seeing this over and over and over. And I agree with Yosef Benjamin. It's scary out there. And it's getting scarier. So what should we do? Benjamin says Israel's not safe for Jews. Thoughts?
Israel's not the answer to the problem.
What's the answer? Hiding so we don't get shanked?
The answer is Germany.
I'm asking him for a serious answer, and he's not giving me.
It's like Napoleon. He's like, put all the Jews in Germany.
If you think I'm kidding, the Germans love the Jews. They kind of have to them.
Okay, I worked with the German military.
You have to.
I worked with the German military for a long time, years. They do not love us. They don't really hate us. They're like, okay, this happened. They live under the shadow of World War II. And one soldier told me, history will never be able to view Germany without the shadow of Hitler. Ever. That's what I said. But the point being, of course, is Germany doesn't love or hate us. They tolerate us. How do we know? Because the rabbi in Berlin put out that warning to Jewish people because we were getting beat up. Okay. So don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying Israel's paradise on earth. I'm not saying the nation of Israel is, the safest place on the planet. But unlike World War II and unlike the Inquisition, at least we have a land we can go to now. We can take up arms side by side with our brothers and defend ourselves instead of being scattered to the four winds. What do you guys think?
I think it's odd that the European nations are tolerating Jews now, and the United States is not. And Europe is about to become the most powerful military force ever, and the United States is not.
I mean, England hates Jews.
England, yeah.
France, Germany, Poland.
It's about continental.
France hates Jews.
France loves
France, Poland,
Germany, they're cracking down on.
Look up anti-Semitism trends in France in the past 10 years.
They also, what's his name, said he was going to crack down on anti-Semitism.
The French hate everybody.
Macron said that during an election year.
Yeah, you never
He's also
believe
arresting
anybody.
Muslims.
Huh?
He's arresting Muslims.
Let's just look at the trends.
Well, we'll see. Just because you arrest them doesn't mean they'll get justice. Because this one Muslim guy killed someone and they got only a year in jail.
I'm just saying, it's going to come to the opposite of what it was in World War II. The United States is going to be the bad guy, and Europe is going to be the
The United States will not be the bad guy.
United States is the bad guy.
But with the president we have,
We're the greatest country on earth, Joe.
Yes, but with the bad guys.
yeah, but
bad guys. Stop hating
I
on
don't know. It
We are the bad
depends
guys
on the
because
leaders that we
we're
have.
libtards today be saying things that no.
The liberals are the only ones who see it for what it is. America is weak.
Well, then why are you still here?
They're getting
Then I
forgetting
believe
the country.
country can be strong again.
How are you going to do that?
Not have Trump or Vance.
So maybe Governor Newsom as president would be great.
No,
Another Democrat like Biden and Obama.
we need to bend the rules a little so Schwarzenegger can become.
Oh my gosh.
She was
Schwarzenegger.
I know. That's why I said we gotta bend the rules a little.
Okay. So the point we've run out of time, unfortunately. This was not at all what we were going to go to during the Bible study. But the point is, at least we have a nation now to where we can go. And yes, Benjamin, we're being attacked. And yes, we're surrounded by our enemies literally on every side except the Mediterranean. And yes, we've been under attack since 1948. But despite that, we're still a nation. And despite that, we have the highest technological advances and medical advances in the entire Middle East. And despite that, our population continues to grow.
No,
I don't mean to diminish the accomplishments, but that's really not a high bar to hit in the Middle East.
I understand that. But we are leading research in the world for medicine and science. Look it up. So Israel is a modern miracle. And the fact that we still exist, especially after we were attacked in 1948, the day after we proclaimed independence, means we're not going to go around. We're not going to disappear anytime soon. If I could speak to world Jewry, I would say pack your bags and go to Israel.
No, Jewry is an anti-Semitic word, right?
That's great. I would say pack your bags.
Yeah.
Pack your bags and go to Israel. That's what I would say. Leave your countries and go home to the land that God commanded us
leave
to
their countries, but
inhabit.
that's wrong. Our countries are all home.
I would say, as a Jewish people, we have a higher calling to a different home.
That's heaven for us.
Well, that's Christians, of course, and
That's
same
right.
Jews.
Every place on earth is not our
But
home.
in the Bible, God commands Jews to live in Israel. So, with that, we have.
We'll just go.
But one could argue that the modern area of Israel
I mean,
is not the biblical area. No.
it actually is. It's just a smaller portion. Okay.
And I would argue
But you-
that. No, sorry.
All right.
Well, we don't have time.
Okay.
And we get to wait for next.
All right. Having said that, we have run out of time, unfortunately. Last 30 seconds. Any closing thoughts?
Nope.
Not that we have time for.
None?
No,
Closing thoughts at all?
put off our other conversation for.
Return to Spain.
Yeah, that's that could go wrong.
Yeah, look up anti-Semitism trends in Spain right now. So they have a very, very liberal.
Mr. German.
So,
Spain being anti-Semitic.
yeah,
Oh,
crazy. Right?
Wow, that's never happened before.
Okay. On that note, thank you guys for your attention time. Love the feedback. Love the discussion. Thank you as well for joining us again. Not the direction we were going to go today, but I think a necessary one nonetheless. So, As always, let me move the clock here because I can't see anything. But please remember to pray for the peace of Jerusalem and the salvation of the Jewish people. Until next week, Shabbat Shalom.